Everybody, and welcome to the Glory Reds podcast. It's your boy Don Benito, and today we are discussing my favorite topic, which is Erik Ten Hag stays. And then we're going to talk about the Munich raid. We're going to be talking about Antony and Maguire potential leaving the club, loan, permanent deal, whatever you want to call it. We're going to talk about the whole Sir Alex Ferguson being cut out of the club. Oof, man, ruthless, huh? And then we're gonna be talking about Ineos. Like, what's happening with Ineos? You know, are they the kind of people that we need to back? Like, I don't know, man. I'm having question marks around those guys. But you know what? Let's dive straight into it. Right. Erik Ten Hag, I think right now at this point is going to be staying at Manchester United. Now I know. Listen. I know. A lot of you wanted him gone. I know I wanted him to stay because of my reasons, and my reasons were being, I don't think that there's any manager out there that can come over and take over, you know, and there's so much that is going on. And yesterday, funnily enough, one of the managers that they'd been looking to replace Erik Ten Hag, especially from last season, remember, before we actually gave Erik Ten Hag this contract, Ineos were actively looking for his replacement. They interviewed or spoke to different managers. But one manager that stood out amongst all those that were being, I guess, scouted was Thomas Tuchel. Thomas Tuchel, apparently he denied, or he didn't want to work at Manchester. Whatever the story was in the summer. No, Ineos, I think there was a disagreement when it came to the policies of what the club wants. And I think Tuchel buttoned with the club in that sense, and there was no agreement or something like that. Yeah, I don't think. I think there was the reason why he actually didn't really come is because they didn't agree on something. They didn't. I don't think they specified exactly, but I think they talked about the transfer policy. I think Thomas Tuchel is one of the managers that wants to be actively involved with the transfers. And I think that put him off. However, yesterday, it was announced that he's going to take over the England job, which completely rules him out from replacing Erik Ten Hag or whatever story people were trying to think. Some people are even trying to say that he was using the England job to try and put himself back in that contention or that conversation of either managing Manchester United or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So Tuchel now is an England manager. Now, don't get me wrong. I like Tuchel. I think when Tuchel was at Chelsea, I was one of his advocates. I remember having conversations with Chelsea players at that time and telling them that, hey man, I like this guy. I like what he has come to do. He's revived careers. You know, Rudiger was out, Aspilicueta were out. You know, there were a couple of players that were not featuring at that time, I think because of Lampard or something. And Tuchel came in and brought this different kind of energy. And I saw it, I witnessed it, and I saw the team progress. They went and won the Champions League. Now, and he's the kind of manager that when he speaks to the press or whatever, you know, his interviews, you know, he's very analytical. You know, he explains everything with detail, and I like that. But I never thought about him being at Manchester United. I won't lie to you, especially at that time. At that time, it was one of like a fantasy. Like, listen, this guy will never come to Manchester United, right? Never, because of, you know. But obviously, you think about it. You think about the kind of manager that he is, an elite manager, won Champions Leagues, coached PSG, Chelsea, Bayern Munich. Now, the problem with Tuchel is the fact that he falls out with his clubs. And you look at Manchester United right now, we're on a rebuild. We've got no time for like getting angry or getting into bad books with another manager because things are not working. No, we are not there. Like that is an unnecessary drama for Manchester United. You understand? So Thomas Tuchel taking that job, number one, cements that, okay, we're still going to carry on with Erik Ten Hag until further notice. And two, we're not going to, because I believe that Tuchel was going to come in and start changing things, which is what people want. But at the same time, is that what the club needs? Like at this very, very moment. Like I do agree that he's a tactical manager. I don't know if he's going to be able to get the same energy out of these guys. I don't know. Because personally, I think that these players need to be looked at. I think we need, like, if we had it our way, every time a player doesn't underperform, like you just chuck him out. Like you just like bounce. Like if we had it that way, I think we would have been done with our rebuild by now. You know, that thing of uprooting all the dead weight and all that stuff and taking it back, you know, and getting rid of it. Now, another thing with Thomas Tuchel that I particularly didn't want him for Manchester United is because he fell out with Chelsea. He fell out with, I think he fell out with PSG, and he also fell out with Bayern Munich. Those are three top clubs, top elite clubs. Then you sit there and you think to yourself, this guy went and managed these clubs, and when he was there was bad blood. So why the hell do you want to bring somebody like Tuchel to Manchester United? You know, I feel like I'm living in the twilight zone where, like, I'm in a place and I don't understand what is happening. You understand what I mean? People are asking for certain things without even looking too deep. Like, okay, if you're looking at Tuchel as an elite manager, oh well and good. But then Manchester United is a family. It's a home. It's like it's a religion. It's I don't know. You can't just keep on chopping and changing. Yes, we've done that, but we can't keep on doing it. And we can't keep on having people that are going to always go against our culture. And Thomas Tuchel looks to me as somebody that always goes against the grain. You know, if he doesn't like something at what Ineos is trying to do or implement there, he will just get pissed off and, you know, he'll throw a fit, basically. So I am glad that he's taking the England job. I'm actually happy for him because he's got a pool of players. Like I'm excited to see what's going to happen with England and Tuchel, because that I know at right now it seems like a disaster match, but it could be a match made in heaven, because that guy is he's a winner. He's a winner. He has that winning mentality. He's an elite manager. I think he can get the best out of English. The only problem with the international job is that you don't get time to implement your style. You don't get time to implement what you want as a manager. So that's going to be tricky for him. But I think he'll be able to manage and do his thing. So I'm happy he's there. Erik Ten Hag stays. You know, there's been so much drama. Everybody talking about Erik Ten Hag leaving this. Oh, the Ineos were having a meeting. They were discussing. You know, I'm sick and tired of these journalists. I get it. You guys are making money. This is just how you guys do. But I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of these stories that come up there and just raise people's blood pressure for no reason. Like, you could be sitting there, you know, enjoying a movie or something, and then you just see a crazy article. Manchester United want to get rid of let's just say Marcus Rashford, or Marcus Rashford is not happy with the authorities or with the hierarchy, and you know, like very powerful propaganda-ish, like sensationalist topics and whatever you want to call it, and it destabilizes the club. Because I'm happy right now, yes, that things have calmed down, but last week, the week before, it had been crazy. Erik Ten Hag out this, Erik that, Erik this. We couldn't. But I'm glad that some of these guys got to have a break. They got to go out, be with their family. Erik got to think, come back rejuvenated, fresh. You know, I'm happy about that. I really, really am. Now we'll try and see what's going to happen this weekend, because football's coming back. Football is coming back, so we'll see Wagwan. Because I'm sorry, when it comes to Manchester United, there are time for it's coming or it's going to click. Is that thing is past. We are now approaching December. If we are now like we're approaching November, December, like if we are not in the mix within December, then we are in a very, very big problem. You know what I mean? But yeah, we will talk about that. The second topic that was another one that just came out that I don't know, I thought was sensationalist, but maybe there could be some truth to it as well because of the journalist that was talking about it. Manchester United are planning a triple raid on Bayern Munich. I don't know why Bayern Munich seems to be the destination now for Manchester United, but it just seems like we are heading there. We're just looking at Bayern Munich and we're like just going to take their their rejects or whatever you want to call them, I'm not saying that the players that we brought in are rejects or whatever. No, I'm just saying we just seem to be going to Bayern Munich. So this latest story is that we're trying to raid Bayern Munich for 3 players in 3 positions. I don't know. When I read the article, I was just like, I was excited because it's like, imagine having these players within our ranks. But then again, I just thought about how Manchester United is this big black hole of vacuum. Like if you're a talented player, if you go to Manchester United, like you're going to be swallowed by the black hole or the vortex of whatever negativity that is there at Manchester. Because I was sorry, this is kind of off topic, but I was thinking about Bruno, how Bruno came in, he was the star, he was the light, all of a sudden now he's become just like what players that we've been complaining about. But I'll talk about Bruno a little bit later and explain my part when it comes to Bruno. So we want to get a midfielder, we want to get a winger, and we want to get left back. Like one of the biggest blunders I think from Ineos this season was not trying to get a left back. That one was the biggest fucking blunder. Like I get that they did what they did, but there was just like we were complaining. Like everyone was complaining. Like how it didn't resonate with them. Like I think they got their calculations wrong. I think they got their dates wrong. I don't know if they thought Malacia would be back. I don't know if they thought Luke. Like it's bizarre. Either that or either that or they told Erik work with what you have, those kind of things. Because I don't think Erik just purposely wants to put this guy there, Delo, So we want to go for the 3 players that apparently Manchester United are trying to raid Bayern Munich for are Leroy Sané, Goretzka, and Alphonso Davies. Now all these 3 players are fire. Like if we brought these players into our ranks, I think they would actually elevate us, they would boost us. But I can't help but think or feel that some of these guys, especially like I know they're young, but I just feel like their best times have passed. Like I don't think we're gonna get the best, like the real best out of them. I think we're just gonna get like Leroy Sané coming in. I don't think he's going to put ridiculous numbers in as compared to what we already have. He's going to do better, but he's not going to set the world on fire. That's the point that I'm trying to make. But Leroy Sané right now is better than the wingers that we've got. His numbers speak. I do actually. How many goals has Leroy Sané scored? I think he's been in and out of the mix. So last season, Champions League coming into he has been on point. Goretzka, CDM, somebody that we're looking to replace Casemiro. Yes, Ugarte has started off a little bit slow. I need to tell people that you need patience. Patience. I know I said that South American players, some of them, they just walk into the Premier League. No, some don't. That's why some, like not everybody, but I don't know with Ugarte. I think people are throwing in the towel too early. But it seems like we're trying to get another midfielder in there to help the ranks. So Goretzka to me is a powerful, strong number 8. I don't think he's a CDM. I don't know why. I could be wrong, but I see him as a box to box in a very strange way. And I think that is good for us. He's strong, he's powerful. I think he'll be very good. And then Alphonso Davies, left back. Alphonso Davies is a fantasy, bro. It's like a FIFA fantasy. Like I remember, you see, like Christian Eriksen, right? Christian Eriksen, never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that this man will come to Manchester United. But he was a player during his good old days in Tottenham. We'll just think and be like, man, I'm loving me some Eriksen, bro. I would like some Eriksen, you know? And I remember, like, even with Wan-Bissaka, I don't know if Pastor D had the same thought, but I remember thinking, before Wan-Bissaka came to Manchester United, like when he was at Crystal Palace, like, imagine this guy doing his thing there for us and that, locking it down, that kind of stuff. And I feel like Alphonso Davies is the same. One thing that I would just not go for him is because I've noticed of late picks up injuries. He's a little bit injury prone. So I think Manchester United really, really need to be strict and thorough when it comes to checking these players that we're bringing in, especially with injury prone. Like we can't deal with injury prone players. You look at what's happening at Manchester United right now, and I'm not even going to try and give it an excuse, but already injuries are just hanging around. Like, it's like injuries are like, like, hey, what's good? You want an injury? Hey. It's like injury is a human being. It's like it exists. It's a presence. It's weird, bro. It's weird. And now we are in this whole funk and blah blah blah. So I'm not really too jazzed about it. Especially Alphonso Davies. Like I don't know. There's a player there. Definitely. Like I said, he's a fantasy. This guy was to come to Manchester United. My God. I don't think you'll be able to deal with the pressure. I honestly don't think so. Now, that's a topic for another day. Moving on to the transfers. Antony Maguire. January is right around the corner and things are going to happen. Normally, Manchester United doesn't do a lot of business during January transfer window. We don't. I think the latest or the biggest deal that we've done thus far would have been the Bruno Fernandes one. Because I think Bruno came in December, like in January-ish. Finished off the season, then yeah. So I think that is the only standout transfer or bit of business that we've done in recent times when it comes to that time of that period. So Antony is looking like he's gonna be going out on loan with an obligation to buy. I don't know how Manchester United are gonna pull this off, but they were touting, or they threw in some numbers there. Manchester United are looking to get at least like 40 mil or something like that, and I'm like, 40 for Antony? I don't know. Yes, we bought him for 80 mil, which was our bad, our mistake, Now we're trying to make, like, we're trying to not lose everything. Antony, the way he's playing, his stats, everything that is done, doesn't scream 40 million to me. It doesn't. It's like 20, 10, those funny numbers, which is hard to believe. So now I ask myself, if that's the number that they want to get rid of Antony, that means Antony is not going anywhere. We're just there throwing numbers and whatever, because who's going to buy Antony for 40 million? Who's going to agree on that deal? Like who? Especially after everything that he has displayed at Manchester United. I don't know. I'm skeptical about that. I really, really am. And then there's the issue, and then there's Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire, they're looking to get rid of him for about 10 mil because obviously, his contract is up in the summer. Trying to get some cash from Harry Maguire. Honestly, with regards to Harry Maguire, like, I've gone past that moment where You know, there was a period where I wanted. No, let me not lie. I don't think there's any point I actually wanted Harry Maguire gone from Manchester United. Let me say this. I think my frustration with Harry Maguire came when he was captain and he wasn't playing well. Those have been my biggest issues with Harry Maguire. Given the captaincy and the way he was carrying himself, the way his game was, like things just didn't gel. So that was my only criticism towards him. I wanted him gone because of how he was just being like, you look at his game and you're like, what's happening here? We bought this guy for 80 million. Does that make sense? You know? So it was just those frustrations. Now he's like 30, 31. Contract is about to expire. I get that. Like trying to get some cash. I don't know if you can, but Harry Maguire, I'm seeing him as Evans. You know what I mean? In the sense that, instead of Evans, we've got Harry Maguire, because Evans is not going to play for us for a very, very long time. And I know this topic or this, what I'm saying is going to rub you guys the wrong way. But hear me out. Like, Harry Maguire has been, man, that guy has been Mr. Reliable. All days. It's just now, you know what? No, I take it back. I take it back because, yes, he's no more Mr. Reliable. I take it back. He's no more Mr. Reliable. But, like, listen, he's been playing very, very well. I'm the kind of person, like, this is a personal thing. I like to reward those that stand up during tough times, that stand up and be counted during tough times. And, Harry Maguire stood out for us last season. And I commend him for that because, yeah, man, we had all these guys, hey, Varane, hey, Martinez, they got injured. They got fucking injured. When we were supposed to be taking over, you know what I mean? And I'm not trying to say that they were the faults and whatnot. Nah, the momentum died with that. And you know who came in? Harry Maguire. Came in there, did this thing. He came in, did this thing when he was rumored to be leaving. So there was so much going on with Harry Maguire. So he has been a very steady guy for us. And I'm happy. I've been pleased with him. If he's going to go, right, Manchester United need to bring somebody in. I hate this thing of getting rid of a player and not replacing or not trying to bring them, because what is the point? What is the point? You let go of the player, then you leave that gap there. Then somebody else, then who are we going to bring in? So within that regard, like, yeah, I'm cool with the Harry Maguire situation. He stays, he leaves. I'm not too bad. But of recent, Harry Maguire has been doing the business. He has. In fact, he's actually been our best defender. I know. The stats say it all. Harry Maguire has been our best defender this season. Aerial duels, whatever you wanna, you name it, interceptions. Maybe there are a couple of categories, one or two that way he falls short. But then majority overall, Maguire is our best defender. Look at that. Every time a player that's on his, like when he's about to leave or he's, he's just not having these games and playing well, and it's just like, so that's the sad part about it, And then now I want to talk about this Alex Ferguson situation. This one, I had to give it time. I need to give it time to marinate. The first reaction I got when they said that they've cut Alex Ferguson out, I'm like, what the fuck? Who authorized that? Who is the mother? Who authorized that we should get rid of Alex Ferguson? I lost my mind. That's granddaddy. That's grandpa Fergie. This man, just like what Eric Cantona said, this man is allowed to do whatever the fuck he wants with this club. If he decides that, you guys need to name Old Trafford after me, call it the Sir Alex Ferguson Stadium, man, people need to do that shit fast. They need to do it fast. Sir Alex Ferguson. Yes, we have his statue. Sir Alex Ferguson. When you say Manchester United, you don't think about Bayern, like the Munich disaster. You don't think about Cristiano Ronaldo. You don't think about Wayne Rooney. You don't think about uh, Rashford. You don't think about Van Gaal. You don't think about David De Gea. You don't think about Jaap Stam. You don't think about Beckham. You don't think about Rio. You don't think about Gabriel Heinz. You don't think about these guys. The image that comes into your mind when you think Manchester United is Sir Alex Ferguson. That's the first thing that's the first image. Like the connotations, like when you want to put Manchester United into perspective, Sir Alex Ferguson's face is there. This man, oh my God, I don't know. But at the same time, I understand where Ineos are where they're coming from. But I feel, anyway, I'm assuming this thing to cut ties or cut whatever, like stop his ambassadorial duties to free up wages. It is a monetary decision. It is a decision that affects the club in financially. I'm assuming it has to be. It has to be. I mean, not after sacking all the people that have left the club. You know this. These guys have had a mass exodus at Manchester United, and Sir Alex Ferguson just happens to be another casualty. You know, so people are going berserk. People are going mad. Why? Listen, I get it. I understand, but we need to trust Ineos. You know, I say I know you guys are gonna laugh. Like, yeah, I said that because I don't. Like, my heart doesn't trust Ineos. Not yet. Okay? Maybe I should say not yet. But my heart, man, I'm not there. I see their plan, but then I see the things they're doing, and I'm just like, yo, just know that we're watching you. And again, I'm not gonna sit here and act like Ineos are the only problem. No. Ineos have taken over. They haven't been in the club for a very, very long time. That's true. They've been there a couple of months. Especially this best in class team has just been assembled. You know, they just started working together now. That's why people I don't know why people are getting frustrated actually. I really don't get why people are getting frustrated by it because they just started. You know, if this behavior continues, we start seeing weird decisions up until next season. And then next season, we'll be like, listen, what the hell did you guys sell us? What did you sell us? What the hell did you sell us? It makes no sense. Because here you are telling us all these things, and we are trying to understand you, but you know, it's not vibing. Like, we're not getting you guys. You know, so for me, Ineos, like, I'm just sitting here, like, these stories coming out. Actually, I think I just blamed Ineos for something they didn't do. You know, I just blame them for, but in a weird way, like this thing of them not coming out and saying stuff. Because listen, Manchester United is still that club that doesn't speak. Like, we have always wanted to know what's going on. Like, our club is not like Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, Real Madrid. You know, like, that's not like that. Those clubs communicate with the fans. I don't know. I don't know, and it's frustrating me. It's frustrating me. So Ineos right now, for me personally, they're on check. I'm seeing what they're doing. I want to see how they tackle problems. Like, we have one of the biggest problems, and that's that left back situation. And if they do something dumb like try and renew Luke Shaw's contract, some bullshit, man, like, you will just see that here we're dealing with imbeciles. I'm sorry. I'm not saying that that's what they're going to do, but I'm watching them for this shit. I'm watching them to see Wagwan because, man, I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of problems at Manchester. And I'm not saying that Ineos are the problem, but there's a lot of uncertainty around Ineos. There is. The way they're running things. You know, there's like, fans are on the edge because Ineos don't say much. Like, Ineos, like, when you came to Manchester United, we thought we were going to get better communication. Like, well, maybe I should speak for myself. I thought we were going to get better communication. You know, when some bullshit like this comes up, like I'm expecting the club or Ineos, whatever, to come in and nip it in the butt. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, how Didier Deschamps defended Mbappe. You know how they defending their players. Like, it's a rumor. Like, hey, Mbappe is rumored to be in this sex rape, whatever thing. They just shut it down. You know, backing them. We don't do that. We don't do that. We make those. We allow that information to combust and explode and become something that it's not there, and that's frustrating. That is frustrating. I'm only happy right now that we have some semblance of calm in Manchester United, in the sense that, and listen, don't get me wrong, the Ten Hag outers, like I've understood your concerns. Your concerns are very valid. Like, I think where we are aligned is what we want for the club. We agree some of the things that he does are wrong. Like, that's 100%. But the blame that you guys blame on Erik Ten Hag, he's the reason why we don't have chance creation, we're not scoring goals. You know, that for me is a cop out. That for me is a cop out, and it's lazy and weak. There are bigger and more serious issues that are happening in Manchester United, and you pick that lazy fucking thing to talk about. You know, like, it's and another thing. Let me just say, for me, it's the pettiness. You know, the petulance in your arguments. You know, Ten Hag out, no solution. Out, no solution. Who do you want in? Just get that ball throw. In the language that they use, the language is what frustrates me. Because then in that moment when I'm having a conversation with somebody calling Erik Ten Hag a bold fraud or this wanker or whatever, I already in my mind know that this conversation is not going anywhere. You're not mature. You're a child. You're throwing your prems, like your toys out of the prem, because nobody's listening to you. So I can't have conversation with people like that. I can't. I really, really can't. But with that being said, a lot is still happening. We are playing. Premier League is back this weekend, baby. Honestly, I'm not even going to come here and predict and say, oh, this is what needs to be done. The players are going, because this international break has been a little bit blurry for me, to be honest. In the sense that you look at Bruno, he's been performing well for Portugal. I mean, yesterday it was like a game. But then you come to Manchester United, and then you look at his interview or his whatever. It's like, it's not a good moment, you know. And then Martinez, and then, you know, everybody else that has gone out for international duty. You understand? Then they come back into this dark cloud, which is Manchester United. You know, and it's those clouds that like are trying to form a typhoon. You know that shit. You know, the dark black, like, that's what's hanging over Manchester United, and which is weird because it shouldn't be. It should be fucking sunshines and rainbows. You know, it should be freaking rainbow going across Carrington like this, because we've got new players. You know, we've got new energy. You know, like, things are looking up. Yes, we're sitting 12th, 14th, but that doesn't reflect everything. You know, in as much as we are down there, can you imagine Onana is leading the golden glove race, like, clean sheets? Explain that. Explain that. People are just throwing in, like, Manchester United just needs to go on a 4 run, just 4 games. Back to Premier League, doesn't matter who they play. Win 4 games on the bounce, and we're already there in the mix. Already there. And then we just maintain. We see whatever. You see, that's the thing with this team. That's why I keep thinking that this team can make it top 4. Sorry, I know. I know. But I don't know. This team has this thing of, like, we can get in top 4. We can. We can. We just need to decide when we want to. You know. So that's where I'm at with Manchester United. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the Glory Reds podcast. Apologize for taking so long. We had to. Some things were happening, so there was no time for us to record. But I'm pretty sure that Pastor D working on some content for you guys. Thank you for the support. Thank you for helping us grow. We are now on 50 subscribers. I know we should be more. I should be saying we want more, but listen, I'm happy and grateful for you guys that are there, that are listening and watching. Appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. It's your boy Don Benito, and I'm out.